Wait. How do? How do? How do? Go on then, lad. Good boy. Go on. Come on then, no ball today, it's too warm, kid. How do? Been a while, bit cooler today, brought him out, little walk into the park. That was a bit robotic, weren't it? Anyway, first of all, a few thank yous. Thank you to the people who are supporting me on Patreon, very much appreciated. And thanks to the people who have bought me a brew, a cup of coffee, again, very much appreciated. Thanks for all the kind comments again, especially directed towards my daughter. Okay, this way, dude, Stephen. Also, yeah, saw Morrison's the other day, met a subscriber, nice fella, came over, shook my hand, had a chat. Lovely to meet people. Everyone I've met lately, met quite a few people in and around West Yorkshire. All good. So, Charlie Bronson. In fact, before I get on to Charlie Bronson, a few people in the messages, get me on the channel, you need to send me an email, guys. The only way to get in touch, every video has an email. If you can't email, you know, you're not good with technology, like myself, get someone to send an email for you. Tell me a bit about yourself, where you live, what you're up to. You don't have to be in prison, you know, you don't have to be a drug addict. Victims of crime, anyone. If you've got a story to tell, something life-changing, get in touch with the channel. Ordinary folk. That was my idea from the start of the channel. No celebs, yeah, just people, real people with real stories. That was the original idea. Mark Harrop, if you see this, he came up with the idea of real porridge. Hope you're doing well, mate. Stevie? Charlie Bronson. When I get back to our gaff, I'm just going to read you a little article. So he has campaigned, I believe he did it, to get parole hearings, or is parole hearing heard in public. Now the parole board will have the overall decision on that. For me, if you don't know who Charlie Bronson is, now known as Charles Salvador, apologies for that, he's known as Charles Salvador, formerly Charles Bronson. He's done round about 50 years in our prisons. He was an armed robber. A lot of his added time, including a life sentence, were for some crazy things he did. The last thing he did, whole special unit, was took an art teacher hostage. Yeah. Charles Salvador loves his art. He has sent a lot, via his brother I believe, a lot of art out of prisons, sold it for charity and tried to help people on the out. You know, it's all right talking about all the bad stuff he did, but he's done a lot of good stuff as well. Years of madness. You know, he's been in Broadmoor, mental health breakdowns, which, you know, 50 years in prison, it's going to get to you. On the other side of the coin, he's broke records, incredible fitness records. You know, he's had strength and fitness, and this is all done in a cell. You know, we're not talking about him being given special privileges and loads of gym time. Mad, crazy cell workouts, breaking records. So yeah, for me, that would be a tester for the parole board. I've sat on 2 parole boards. The stuff that goes on, the stuff that keeps people inside is unbelievable. However, there's people that have got out who should never have got out. Do I believe, you know, families of people being murdered and the like should be invited to express their views on parole boards? Yes, they should. Yes, they should. But like I say, these child killers, rapists and murderers, you know, that have done way less time than he's done. He, for me, he's been a pain in the backside to the prison service, but the prison service created people like Charles Salvador, you know, They put them on the old merry-go-round, they turn up at prison, come face to face with the biggest screws, fights, beatings, the lot. Lots of people like that. Is he the worst person that's ever been locked up? No, he's not. I would love to see the press at a parole hearing so we could all see how they carry on. I think it'd be fascinating. The prison service won't want that, quite definitely. So yeah, short article when I get back. A couple of minutes on the end of this if you want to watch it. I did meet up with Lee at the weekend. Unfortunately, my technical abilities let us down with the video. So I'm meeting him Friday. Hopefully 2 lots of long content for the weekend. Anything else? Oh yeah. So Charles Salvador, I'm sure he won't mind me saying this. He read my book and via a very, very good friend passed on his review, yeah, which I'm chuffed about. The fact that he liked the book or understand the book, yeah, you know, I'm going to be chuffed all that, but people like him will have seen a lot in prison. His prison story will be part of his story, but he'll have met people who have killed themselves. He'll have been involved in other incidents, seen incidents, lots of stuff. He'll have met fantastic lads and lasses who were prison officers, and he'll have met the bad uns as well, banging heads with them. Stephen, hey up kid. But he got the book, he got what it was about, yeah? And that's what I'm chuffed about, that he understood. Some of the critical reviews, the 1-star reviews, also make me laugh on Amazon. You know, they usually start, I was a screw for 30 years, and this guy, this book is all about me, me, me. It is, it's a memoir. It's about my life. It is about me. Yeah. And I never saw things like this happen. Maybe you didn't, depends where you worked. I saw things that nobody should see, but it's not my job or my time was harder or the things I saw were worse, more shocking than the things you saw. 100 prison officers, lads and lasses, every career will be different. Some always worked on landings, landing screws. That's the hardest job for me. Others got off the landings as soon as they could. The old helicopter. Let's camera. There we go. So guys, short article at the end. Thanks to everyone who supported me on Patreon. Buy me a brew, buy me a coffee. Plenty of new content coming, plenty of new guests. Everything much appreciated. Thanks for coming. I'll see you. I'll do. Just before I read the article, a couple of things. First one, serious note, Strangeways prison officer story that Charles Salvador read. The reason I'm chuffed is, as a prisoner who's done a lot of time and has fought the system, yeah, and probably has plenty of grievances against the system, for him to read a book by a prison officer, for him to understand it and appreciate it, that was my point. And secondly, before I read the article, fantastic friend and prison officer, much liked by the lads who used to lock up, Mr. Haig. Yeah, he told me his Charles Bronson story. I've told it before and I will never stop telling it. Liverpool segregation unit, Charlie Bronson comes out to the survey. He was known as Charlie Bronson then. The survey is where prisoners collect their meals. He said to Mr. Haig, who was the cleaning officer on the segregation on the survey, any chance, Gov, of another roast potato? So Mr. Haig, who is a good man, he might have been fearful, I don't know, but he's a good man, said, yeah, Charlie, no problem. Charlie's response, cheers, Gov. Makes every day seem like Christmas. They're the stories I want to hear. We all know this guy could fight, you know, cause disruption and the like. But at the end of the day, you know, that sows a bond between them two and some pleasant words exchanged. Right, article. Charles Bronson, it's now Charles Salvador, says, it's my time now, ahead of potential public parole hearing. One of the UK's most notorious inmates say the last 20 years of time in prison have been nothing but revenge as he bids to have his parole hearing held in public. Charles Bronson believes his time has come to release from prison and prepares what will potentially be Britain's first public parole hearing. The 69-year-old, who has spent most of the last 50 years in jail, is one of the UK's most notorious prisoners, having served much of his sentence in solitary confinement. In 2014, Bronson, who is subject of the 2008 biopic starring Tom Hardy, changed his name to Charles Salvador in honour of artist Salvador Dali. Bronson has been campaigning to have his parole review take place in public. In a letter to the paper, described the last 20 years of his sentence as nothing but revenge. He was first locked up in '74 for armed robbery and had his sentence increased several times for assaults on fellow inmates and prison guards. He was briefly released in the 1980s, but was caught plotting another raid and returned to prison, where he committed several high-profile offences. He took 2 Iraqi hijackers and another inmate hostage at the high-security Belmarsh prison, demanding, are you ready for this, a helicopter to Cuba and a cheese and pickles sandwich during negotiations, and threatening to eat one of his captives. In a separate incident, he took a deputy prison governor hostage, while he also kidnapped a teacher who was critical of one of his paintings. Those convictions prompted a discretionary life sentence to be handed down in 2000, with a minimum term of 4 years. Bronson has previously predicted that he will be free before his 70th birthday, and could look to utilise last month's parole board announcement that from July 21st, that's of this year, anyone would be able to apply for a parole hearing to be held in public. Writing from HMP Woodhill in Milton Keynes, he said, "There is no more sweeping my case under the mat. I've nothing to hide from the media or public. It's this vindictive system that runs from the truth. I'm the first to admit I probably deserve a good 30 years caged up and all the brutality against me, but this 20 years has been nothing but revenge to make an example of a man forever labelled as an out-of-control lunatic. This is my time now." I would love to see that, and you know, at the end of the day, the guy deserves a chance. And when he says what he'd like to do if he did get out, paint, you know, chill, relax, just do the simple things in life. Thanks to everyone again. I'll see you there.